A few weeks ago, I was bored and scrolling through my phone. I ended up on the club J.League app, as I often do. This is the league's official app and has everything you'd expect, like news, fixtures, results, and league tables. You can also buy tickets through the app. But there's another really good feature, the challenge section. You can collect coins by checking in at various places, such as partner supermarkets, but also by checking in for J.League games. You can check in remotely by scanning an on-screen QR code during games streamed by DAZN, or by checking in at the stadium. And when you collect enough coins, you can enter competitions. And sometimes, you can win tickets to J.League games, which I managed to do. But not just one game, 2 games in 2 days. This was the experience. Game 1 was a very familiar destination for me, a trip to watch Omiya Ardija in a J2 game against Tokushima Vortis. Omiya is in Saitama City, around 40 minutes from central Tokyo. Saitama doesn't have the best reputation in Japan, often referred to as Dasaitama, a play on the Japanese word dasai, meaning uncool. But there are some really nice places in Saitama, none more so than Omiya Park. There's the tree-lined walk to Hikawa Shrine, the beautiful shrine itself, and the pristine grounds. Next to the shrine is Omiya Park, a great place to walk around and relax. There's also a small zoo. And on the edge of the park, through the trees, is NAC5 Stadium, the home of Omiya Ardija. NAC5 is a fantastic place to watch football. Before the pandemic, the atmosphere was incredible. And even now, with singing and chanting currently not allowed, it's still a great place to catch a game. My free ticket was for the supporter zones behind the goals, on either the lower tier terracing or the upper tier seating. I took a seat high up behind the goal, full of hope that Ardija would record their first win of the season at the 5th attempt. "90 minutes later, and my hope was crushed. An abject Omiya surrendered meekly to Tokushima, who ran out 2-0 winners, without having to break a sweat. And the home fans were not happy. It's sad to see Omiya struggling so much. The club spent 10 consecutive seasons in J1 between 2005 and 2014, and in 2016 they recorded a best place finish of 5th in J1, but the squad has been gradually weakened over the last few seasons, and relegation to J3 is looking increasingly likely unless something drastically changes. So Omiya's wait for a first league win would go on, but my wait for another J2 game would be over the very next day. Day 2, Game 2, more J2, this time a trip into Tokyo. A short 25-minute hop along the Keio line from Shinjuku to Tobitakyu, where you'll find Ajinomoto Stadium. And it's clear which team is winning the marketing war. FC Tokyo banners and flags are everywhere. But it's not just FC Tokyo who use Ajinomoto Stadium. Tokyo Verdi play here too, and there are a few signs of that on the short walk from the station to the stadium. Ajinomoto Stadium was built in 2001 and has a capacity of nearly 50,000. We'll talk more about that huge number later. Tokyo Verdy are one of the most storied teams in the J.League. They were the league's first powerhouse, winning the first 2 J.League titles and the first 3 J.League Cups. But at that time, they were known as Verdi Kawasaki, playing in Kanagawa Prefecture. In 2001, they moved to Tokyo to play at Ajinomoto Stadium, but by that time the club were already on the decline. And since 2009, they've been a mainstay of the second tier. I was lucky enough to win a ticket for a big game in J2, two teams that had started the season in excellent form, and a derby match, Tokyo Verdy vs Machida Zelvia, which is known as the Tokyo Classic. But despite that, there was still a lot of empty seats in the stadium. Ajinomoto Stadium is simply too big for Verdi. The fans do the best they can, but it's always going to be difficult to create an atmosphere when there are 45,000 empty seats. Of course, the current COVID situation doesn't help, especially the ban on singing and chanting. Hopefully one day, Verdi can find themselves a stadium of more suitable size. But nevertheless, I settled in for another J2 game, and this time the home team put in a much better performance. Tokyo Verdy looks seriously impressive in their 2-1 win over Machida Zelvia in a very high quality game. The win moved them up to 3rd in the table, ahead of Machida in 4th. So that was my weekend of 2 games in 2 days, without having to pay for a ticket. Let me know your thoughts on the stadiums and teams, and if you get the chance, I definitely recommend using the official J.League app. You never know, you might get lucky too. Thank you for watching.